Hello and welcome to Rochford District Matters, the magazine produced by the Council for its residents. This is the Spring 2015 edition. In this edition are articles on generating and supporting tourism in the district, more money for flood maintenance works, details of the May elections, Hockley Art Exhibition and Trail, and free home safety checks, and much more. But the first item is about some very good news about funding for local voluntary groups.
£100,000 funding for voluntary groups. Rochford District Council is providing more than £100,000 in funding to support local voluntary sector groups. The cash will help 20 organisations which benefit the local community in a variety of different ways, including the provision of activities for young people, older people, carers and those with disabilities. This year, the Rochford and Rayleigh Citizens Advice Bureau has been allocated £67,000 and Rayleigh, Rochford and District Association for Voluntary Service allocated £15,000. Sue Murray, Chief Executive of Rochford and Rayleigh CAB, said, "This funding will enable us to continue providing a quality, assured, free, confidential, independent and impartial advice service in the district to all on subjects including benefits, debt, housing, employment and relationship issues. We are grateful for the support of Rochford District Council, the local community and our volunteers, which makes a real difference to people in the community." Projects to receive capital funding. Rayleigh Age Concern towards the purchase of a new boiler. Fairview Under Fives, a preschool in Rayleigh, towards the cost of a storage shed. 5th Rayleigh Scout Group towards the cost of a new trailer. Crouch Valley District Scout Council to refurbish external toilet and washing facilities. 1st Rayleigh Scout and Cub Group to replace sod cloths and waterproof 5 Icelandic tents. Rankins Cricket Club to purchase a new sight screen. 1st Hawkwell Scout Group towards the cost of rewiring the Scout hut and to add extra lighting. 4th Rochford Scout Group towards the cost of a Scout Hall extension. Stanbridge Memorial Hall to purchase equipment for Disability Sports Project, where participants have been able to try their hand at sitting volleyball, boccia and table cricket. The funding will also help other vital organisations run their day-to-day services. These are the Peaceful Place, Great Wakering Summer Play Scheme, Supporting Carers and Families Together, Dial, Basildon and South Essex, Basildon Women's Aid, Barling Magna Evergreens, Active Rochford, Southend Achievement Through Football, Hockley and Hawkwell 55 Plus Centre, and just over £7,000 was left unallocated from the capital funding pot and was due to be opened up for applications in the new year. Wild Woods Day. Plans are gearing up for the 12th annual Wild Woods Day, which this year takes place on a Saturday, May the 30th, at Hockley Woods. This year's event is set to be the biggest yet, with a host of new activities, experiences and entertaining in the planning. Visitors will have the chance to explore different zones, including a learning zone, kids zone, green zone, active zone and creative zone. An expanded marketplace and picnic area, plus an entertainment stage with Southend Radio, sees this popular event continuing to grow each year.
Open air cinema coming to town. With summer on the way, Rochford District Council is inviting residents to grab a blanket, pack up some snacks and head outside to see some classic movies in the open air at some of the most impressive surroundings in the district. These evening events, hosted by Essex Outdoor Cinema, are a first for the district and will incorporate pre-film entertainment, a bar and food outlets. Showings are sure to be popular, so choose from the list I'm about to give you and book your tickets quickly. So, what's coming up? Shakespeare in Love on Saturday, June the 6th in Hockley Woods. The age rating for that is 15. To be confirmed, You Decide on Sunday, June the 7th in Hockley Woods. Residents will be invited to choose which films should be shown. Just visit www.essexoutdoorcinema.com and get voting. And on Saturday, August the 15th is Grease in Swain Park, and this is a parental guidance rating. For more up-to-date information and to book tickets, visit www.essexoutdoorcinema.com. Also visit the website to vote for which film we show on Sunday, June the 7th. Tickets for all showings are £12 and the gates open at 7 p.m. Please note that open-air cinema venues are subject to capacity restrictions and entrance without a pre-booked ticket is not guaranteed. Please pre-book your ticket and arrive early to avoid disappointment. Running or walking, you decide. After months of planning and hard work by a dedicated group of volunteers, Park Run has finally come to the district. The first Hockley Woods Park Run was held on February the 7th, with 221 people of all ages and abilities in attendance. There were first-time park runners through to park run tourists who try to visit as many different venues as they can across the country. Everyone who took part agreed that the historic woodlands of Hockley Woods provided a wonderful backdrop for the latest addition to the Park Run family. Hockley Woods Park Run takes place every Saturday at 9 a.m. in Hockley Woods. If you haven't registered for Park Run, please do so before attending at www.parkrun.org.uk/Hockley Woods. Or why not sign up for the Rochford District Health Walks and Castle Point Walk Tour, which have just been officially recognised by Walking for Health and awarded national accreditation for their local walking scheme. The accreditation endorses the quality of experience and support that walkers can expect when taking part in the walks. So the local weekly walks include on a Monday, Richmond Hall, Benfleet 10:30 a.m. and Holbridge 10:45 a.m. Wednesdays, Canvey Island Sea Wall meet in Labworth Car Park at 10:30 a.m. Thursdays, the main entrance Hockley Woods at 10:45 a.m. And a walk takes place in Hadley on the first and third Fridays of each month. Meet in Castle Lane Car Park at the bottom of Castle Lane at 10:30 a.m. The River Crouch celebrations. Rochford District Council's arts team and international outdoor arts company Connecticut present a unique celebration which focuses on the River Crouch and local communities living on the north and south banks. The event will celebrate this unique area of Essex over the next few years and eventually lead into an annual river festival. Plans for 2015 include arts projects in schools and villages, a 100-mile public walk and a final celebratory event in Holbridge on Saturday, July the 4th. Find the project on Facebook at www.facebook.com/River Crouch Festival or on Twitter at Crouch River Fest.
Generating and supporting tourism in the district. Rochford District Council is working with its partners to promote tourism in the local area. Together, we'll be developing a strategy designed to attract more visitors and to boost the local economy. Rochford District is a place that has many assets, a diverse environment, spaces of unspoilt, attractive countryside, and a rich heritage, including many iconic and historic buildings. The RSPB's Wallasey Wild Coast project, which is set to create Europe's largest intertidal habitat, will attract an array of rare birds and become an important new visitor attraction. This and other local initiatives will be coming forward in the near future, and it's important that we make the most of what we have to offer and encourage all to get involved. Rochford District Council has invested in membership with Visit Essex, and you can go to our webpage for this. One of our biggest and best assets is the 65 square miles of predominantly rural landscape with miles of unspoilt coastline and attractive countryside, perfect for walking via our many footpaths and public rights of way. Each of the parish and town councils have maps of their footpaths and public rights of way and can be contacted for more details. You can call Rochford District Council on 01702 546 366 for a list of useful websites for walkers. Visit Essex offers free help to fledgling tourism businesses. The Council is working with Visit Essex to establish a programme to help, support and mentor small business start-ups in the tourism and hospitality industries. For example, restaurants, cafes, visitor attractions, accommodation or activity providers. If you're a small business in the tourism or related sector and have been in business for less than 18 months or are looking to set up a business in 2015, Visit Essex would like to support you by offering free training in marketing and customer care and a free mentoring session. You will also be provided with a tourism toolkit. If you're interested in taking up this opportunity, please email Tracy Parker at tracy.parker2, and that's the number 2, at essex.gov.uk. Rochford District Photographic Competition, Spring 2015. We're looking for photos that really portray the Rochford District at springtime. The photographs should be based on a spring theme, but could be of a place, person, pet, object, or stunning view within the Rochford District, whichever you feel depicts the district at its best at springtime. The photographic competition will be judged by the Chairman of the Council, Councillor Mrs June Lumley, with the images to be used in the promotion of the district. The best photos will feature in the summer edition of Rochford District Matters, the Council's quarterly news publication with full credits. In addition, the best images will also be displayed during a future exhibition at Rayleigh Windmill. Submitting your photos. The competition closes on April the 24th, 2015, so please ensure that you submit your photos by that date at the Council's website, and that's www.rochford.gov.uk/springphoto. Electronic images should be JPEGs and no larger than 5 megabytes. For all entries, please complete the competition form, clearly stating your name, date of birth, contact details, the location or subject matter, along with a brief reason why the photo represents the Rochford district for you. Please note that only one photograph per person is permitted. And there are prizes. For those over 18 years of age, the first prize is a £50 Amazon voucher, second prize £25 voucher, third prize £15 voucher. And for those under 18 years of age, first prize is a £25 voucher, second prize £15 voucher, and third prize £10 voucher. Terms and conditions apply. If you are under 18 years of age, you will need parent or guardian authorisation.
£20,000 more for flood maintenance works. Rochford District Council has allocated an additional £20,000 to flood maintenance works as part of an ongoing drive to resolve flooding issues for residents. The decision was made at a meeting of the Forum for Surface Water Issues, where the money was allocated following a vote. Although Rochford District Council is not responsible for flooding issues, it created the forum in order to bring together organisations including Essex Highways, Anglian Water, the Environment Agency and the Essex County Council Flood Management Team to find practical solutions for local residents who have suffered from surface water issues as a result of wet weather. The aim of the group is to find out who is responsible for various water courses, ditches and drains, and then try to ensure that those responsibilities are complied with. Prior to the meeting, Rochford District Council's principal engineer visited various sites where flooding has occurred to try to identify the source of the problem and speak with some of the affected residents before passing his findings on to the relevant agency to resolve. These were then discussed at the forum meetings, where residents had the opportunity to raise concerns about problem areas. A motion was made to spend £11,000 for Warworth Brook at Fairmead and Boston Avenue, both in the Rayleigh area, and a further £9,000 for work at Noble's Green Ditch at Bramfield Road East and Milton Close, again in the Rayleigh area. This was put to a vote and agreed. Rochford District Council is eligible for up to £50,000 of match funding from Essex County Council to tackle the surface water flooding issues, so projects such as these can be supported. The Council has already allocated funds to dig a new ditch to the rear of Blower Close in Rayleigh. Several other areas have also had works completed. Help to access funding. Rochford District Council has helped families and businesses affected by flooding to access government funding. There was a last-minute extension to the qualification period for the flood support scheme by the government, meaning residents and businesses who were flooded in August 2013 were eligible to seek financial assistance to protect their properties. The council was able to help a number of people to access these funds.
Your council tax explained. Rochford District Council has decided to freeze its portion of the council tax. After carefully considering the financial impact of freezing, the District Council is pleased to announce that its share of the overall council tax bill will remain at £208.98 for an average Band D property. Essex County Council and Essex Fire Authority have frozen their parts of the overall tax bill as well, whilst Essex Police Authority raised their proportion by 1.99%. This means that the total average council tax bill for a Band D property will be £1,549.31 per annum, an overall average increase of £3.11 per annum, or 0.2%. Of your total council tax bill, only 13% comes to Rochford District Council, with the rest going to Essex County Council, 70%, Essex Fire Authority, 4%, Police and Crime Commissioner for Essex, 10%, and the parish and town councils, 3%. And here is a comparison table for the proposed council tax charge on a Band D property. And I'll give you the 2014-15 figure first, then 2015-16, and then the increase. Essex County Council, £1,086.75, £1,086.75, so no increase. Police and Crime Commissioner for Essex, £144.27 and £147.15, 1.99%. Rochford District Council, £208.98, £208.98, so no increase there. Essex Fire Authority, £66.42 and £66.42, and no increase there. Parish councils, £39.78, £40 and 1p, and the increase there is 0.58%. So the total, £1,546.20p, £1,549.31p, so an increase of 0.2%.
Budget consultation. These areas were identified as the most important services in the Council's recent budget consultation: recycling, street scene and community safety. The lowest priority areas were Rayleigh Windmill, leisure premises and economic development. Residents were also asked for the top issues that they think the Council should deal with. These included community safety, flooding, recycling and litter and fly tipping. The budget survey, asking residents to prioritise council services, was published in the last edition of Rochford District Matters and made available online on the council website. This was publicised via local media and social media. Copies of the survey were also available at local libraries and distributed at council meetings and Rochford Market in order to get as many responses as possible. The council received a total of 284 responses, 102 by post and 182 online. The feedback from this consultation was considered by councillors during the budget process. If you answered the budget survey, or if you want to help shape and inform policy in the future, why not join our Have Your Say group? The group is made up of Rochford District residents who volunteer to express their views on the Council's proposals and local services. The information you provide helps the Council to make its decisions. In order for us to get the information we need, you will be asked to fill in questionnaires and participate in focus groups. When signing up, you will be asked to highlight any particular areas of interest to ensure your views are taken into account when relevant consultations come up. You can sign up for the group at www.rochford.gov.uk/HYS sign-up. Or you can phone the Community Planning Office on 01702 318 061 or email communityplanning@rochford.gov.uk. Do you want to be involved in how local money is spent in the NHS? NHS Castle Point and Rochford CCG are looking for local residents to represent Rayleigh and Rochford localities. For more information, contact C. Routh, that's CROUTH, at nhs.net or call 01268 594419.
7,000 jobs to land in the district. A plan to generate thousands of jobs across 2 new business parks near London Southend Airport is set to become a reality. The proposals, known formally as the London Southend Airport and Environs Joint Area Action Plan, will see upward of £100 million of private sector investment in the area over the next 10 to 15 years. They have now been adopted at 4 council meetings of Southend Borough Council and Rochford District Council. The plans envisage 7,000 jobs being created within the next 15 years through the construction of up to 100,000 square metres of new employment space, as well as developing the skills of young people locally and opening the way for apprenticeships. These plans will also save a lot of out-commuting, and this, combined with the associated highway network, in particular the A127, will take pressure off our roads. These new business parks, next to an international airport and with excellent access to the mainline railway into London, will help us to attract further investment and create much-needed jobs for the area. Key features of the proposals include a site for the Anglia Ruskin MedTech campus, which will deliver space and support for businesses in the medical technologies sector. An innovation centre providing flexible commercial accommodation for entrepreneurs and small businesses. Up to 100,000 square metres of new employment space, including good quality new office space. A further 15,000 square metres of employment space to be made available for redevelopment on the existing Aviation Way industrial estate. New opportunities for aviation-related maintenance and overhaul businesses to develop on the extension of the northern maintenance, repair and overhaul area of the airport. New attractive public open spaces and landscaping and investment in sporting facilities. Transport improvements within the Joint Area Action Plan and on the local and wider networks, including new routes and junction improvements. A junction on Cherry Orchard Way to improve access to the country park and create an access point for the business park.
Local businesses are being given a helping hand thanks to a £50,000 funding pot. Rochford District Council has been distributing grants to businesses to support them to grow while creating and safeguarding jobs across the district. The scheme has been overseen by the Council's Economic Development Team, who obtained the funding from the Business Southend Growth Hub. These businesses have been awarded grants. Eva UK Limited is using the grant of £10,000 to expand by repairing and refurbishing their showroom. This will safeguard 29 jobs and create up to 6 new jobs. JKS Group Limited is a haulage company that also specialises in earthworks, aggregate and recycling. Their £10,000 grant will help expand their workshop facility and will increase their fleet by another 10 vehicles, creating 12 new jobs. Pemex Limited is a limited company that provides energy, sustainability and utilities consultancy and will refurbish and expand into the office area next door using their grant of £2,329. This will allow for planned expansion, creating 4 jobs and safeguarding 10 jobs. Practical HR is an HR consultancy service based in Great Wakering. They received £6,690, enabling an office refit and the creation of 2 new posts. The Mega Centre is a not-for-profit social enterprise based in Rayleigh and received £10,000 for new air conditioning units, enabling 20 jobs to be safeguarded and 1 job to be created. The Day Nursery's £4,277 grant will enable them to have a better equipped fit-for-purpose site. It will safeguard 20 jobs while creating 4 new posts. The Marlborough Head Pub received a £5,208 grant to upgrade working areas and purchase new kitchen equipment. This will safeguard 4 jobs and create 2 new posts. Rochford District Council's Economic Development Team has scooped the High Impact Award for helping local start-up businesses. They achieved this by taking part in the Global Entrepreneurship Week, where they worked in partnership with ProActions and NWES to offer workshops on how to create and successfully grow a startup businesses or young small business. The team has also been running successful business summits, which enable attendees to find out about business opportunity and take part in workshops specially tailored to meet their needs.
Planning. A key document to ensure that development coming forward in the district is appropriately managed will remain in place after the High Court rejected a challenge by a member of the public who was seeking to quash it. The challenge was against the allocations plan document, which was put in place to prevent a free-for-all for developers who wanted to build in the district. The plan conforms to the framework set out in the Rochford Core Strategy 2011 and allocates specific sites in the general locations set out in the core strategy for a range of uses, including housing and employment development, as well as providing protection for sensitive areas, including the Upper Roach Valley. A member of the public launched a legal challenge against the adoption of the allocations plan earlier this year. The claim considered whether consultation on the allocations plan had met the requirements set out in both the government's regulations and the Council's own Statement of Community Involvement, the Council's policy for consultation beyond the minimum national requirements. The Council received nearly 9,000 responses over the 2 stages of the consultation on the allocations plan and core strategy, in addition to the responses made to the Rochford Core Strategy. Consultation events on the allocations plan included public meetings, public exhibitions, manned and unmanned, school workshops, newsletters, leafleting and mail shots, as well as extensive use of our online consultation system. The Honourable Justice Lindblom ruled that the plan should remain in place without amendments. In his judgment, he said, "In my view, in the light of the evidence before the court, the Council did not breach any of the requirements of Section 19, Part 3 and Regulation 18 when preparing and adopting the allocations plan. It complied with them all. The inspectors," that's the inspector who was appointed by the government to examine the plan and found it sound, conclusions to that effect were not only reasonable, they were also, I believe, right. The judgment means that the allocations plan remains in place in full and will continue to be used to manage development proposals coming forward in the district. The full document can be viewed at www.rochford.gov.uk/allocations. If the allocations plan had been quashed or deleted, it would not have meant no development in the district, but it would have led to a lack of certainty as to where development would go and how much there would be. Deleting the allocations plan would also have removed a number of requirements for developers that protect the local environment and residents' quality of life. The use of greenbelt land. We have prioritised brownfield sites for development where this is achievable, but these sites will not provide the number of dwellings required to fully meet our housing needs over the next 10 to 15 years. That being the case, it has been necessary to allocate some land from the Green Belt for development in sustainable locations. The alternative would have been to have had no plan in place to manage development coming forward, risking a developer free for all. Day-to-day planning. Rochford District Council has adopted a plan to ensure the building of appropriate, sustainable development in the future. The Development Management Plan sets out the detailed day-to-day policies by which planning applications will be assessed. The document was approved at a full council meeting on December the 16th and includes policies for the design of new developments, housing extension limits in the Green Belt and equestrian facilities. This plan, which has previously been approved by a government inspector, will now sit beneath the core strategy and alongside the allocations plan. The plan can be viewed at www.rochford.gov.uk/DMP.
The allocations plan, your questions answered. Why will only 35% of new homes be affordable housing? Prior to the adoption of the Rochford Core Strategy, the now revoked East of England Regional Plan concluded that of the new homes to be provided in the district, 35% should be affordable. The council appointed an independent consultant. The resultant report concluded that a target of about 30% would be appropriate. However, a further report prepared in 2008 suggested that 50% would be more appropriate. Based on the analysis and taking into account the East of England Plan, the Rochford Core Strategy determined that a 35% figure was appropriate, reasonable and deliverable. Respondents commented that the allocations plan will have a negative impact on infrastructure and roads in the area. The assessment of the impact of new development was carefully considered during the preparation of the Rochford Core Strategy and the allocations plan. Furthermore, these concerns were examined in detail by the independent inspector who held a public examination to consider the objections and concerns raised about both documents. The Council will require all planning applications submitted for development of allocated sites to include suitable proposals for the improvement and/or provision of infrastructure. The principal infrastructure improvements required by the Council for each allocated site are shown in the Site Capacity and Concept Statement sections of the allocations document. Why choose greenfield sites? Why not just use brownfield? The Council looked at all opportunities to bring forward suitable brownfield sites for development. However, there are actually very few brownfield sites, and the total amount of development required means that a modest release of land from the Greenbelt for development was necessary. It is also relevant to note that it is a statutory requirement set out by government that the Council must seek to meet its objectively assessed housing need. At present, this figure is 250 new dwellings per year until 2025. Respondents stated that many of the allocated sites were located on the floodplain and asked why this was. This is categorically not the case, and the misunderstanding perhaps arises from a peculiarity in the way land is categorised in terms of the likelihood of flooding occurring. All land is divided into flood zones, and these zones are called flood zones 1, 2 and 3. These zones relate to the probability of land flooding. In fact, despite the terminology, land categorised as flood zone 1 is actually at least risk of flooding and is considered to be where housing development should always take place, unless there are compelling reasons to develop in higher risk zones. All development on allocated sites in the district will be on land that is categorised as flood zone 1, with one brownfield site exception. The only housing development site identified in the allocations plan which is at risk of flooding is Stanbridge Mills, site BFR3, which is a brownfield site. However, the allocations plan only allows this site to be developed for housing if adequate flood improvement measures are put in place alongside the site's redevelopment. It is correct to say that small parts of several site allocations, including land in flood zones 2 and/or 3, but crucially no housing will be developed in those areas, which will most likely be used to provide open space or be incorporated into the sustainable drainage system for the site. The main purpose of sustainable drainage system, known as SUDS, is to mimic the natural drainage of the site before development. This is achieved by capturing rainfall and allowing as much as possible to evaporate or soak into the ground close to where it fell. The remainder is directed to the nearest watercourse to be released at the same rate and volume as before development started. The allocations plan requires appropriate SUDS to be determined in consultation with Essex County Council, the approval body for SUDS and the Environment Agency. The allocations plan also requires that a site-specific flood risk assessment incorporating a surface water drainage strategy should be prepared for all sites. If residents object to the plan, then why should it go ahead? The submission of representations to a plan is considered to be an important way to inform and shape the final plan. However, the Council is required by government to prepare a development plan, and part of the process underpinning this is an assessment of housing need. The government says that local authorities must prepare a plan showing how the objectively assessed housing needs will be met. The Rochford Core Strategy seeks to achieve this through modest, sustainable extensions to the existing built-up parts of the district. Whilst it is understood that residents may express a broad view that development should not take place, this is at odds with the government's demands of local authorities. Furthermore, if the allocations plan was abandoned, the housing requirement would still have to be met. No plan would not mean no development. No plan would, however, mean a lot less local control over where and how much development would take place and what infrastructure would be required to be provided alongside development. Further answers to your questions can be found at www.rochford.gov.uk/allocations-Q.
Parliamentary and local elections. Parliamentary or general election. On Thursday, May the 7th, voters will go to the polls to elect their Member of Parliament for the next 5 years. Most Rochford District Council residents are in the constituency of Rayleigh and Wickford. However, those living in the wards of Barling and Sutton, Foulness and Great Wakering and Rochford fall under the Rochford and Southend East constituency and will therefore be voting to elect a different MP to those living in the Rayleigh and Wickford constituency. This is because the parliamentary constituency boundaries are different to the district council areas. District elections. Rochford District Council is made up of 19 wards represented by 39 councillors. A third of these seats, or 13 of them, are up for election. If you live in one of these wards, you will also be voting for your district councillor on May the 7th. Ashington and Canewdon, Barling and Sutton, Downhall and Raworth, Foulness and Great Wakering, Grange, Hawkwell North, Hawkwell South, Hawkwell West, Hockley Central, Hullbridge, Lodge, Rochford and Swain Park. Parish councils hold their elections every 4 years, and these parishes are also due to have elections on May the 7th. Ashington, Barling Magna, Canewdon, Foulness, Great Wakering, Hawkwell, Paglesham, Stanbridge and Sutton. If you're unable to go to the polling station on polling day, you can apply for a postal or proxy vote. The closing date for new postal votes or for changes to existing postal or proxy arrangements for all elections taking place on May the 7th is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, April the 21st. You can apply for a proxy vote until 5 p.m. on Tuesday, April the 28th. You can also phone us on 01702 318 187 or email elections@rochford.gov.uk. So, a reminder of the last date to register to vote is Monday, April the 20th. To register for a new postal vote or change existing postal or proxy arrangements is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, April the 21st. To apply for a proxy vote is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, April the 28th. And to return your completed postal vote, 10 p.m. on Thursday, May the 7th. On Thursday, May the 7th, the polling stations are open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. The election alarm clock is a convenient way to keep up to date with all the information regarding upcoming elections. By signing up to the election alarm clock, you will be alerted to upcoming elections, when and how to register for elections, when and how you can vote, and where you can vote. To sign up for this service, visit www.rochford.gov.uk/election alarm clock, and that is all one word. Fill in your details as requested and click submit. That's it. Once you've done this, you will start to receive election alerts. Your vote matters. Make sure you're in. To vote in a UK election, you must be on the electoral register. If you have recently moved house, you may not be registered to vote at your new address. Paying council tax does not automatically register you to vote. You can register to vote online at www.gov.uk/register-to-vote. Registering online takes about 5 minutes. Don't miss out on the chance to have your say. And the deadline for registering to vote for the May 2015 elections is Monday, April the 20th.
Parks and woodlands. Spring is here And the clocks have sprung forward, so why not take the opportunity to venture out in the district and see who else is making the most of the spring sunshine. The Rochford District is the perfect place for this, with its rolling countryside, beautiful open spaces and woodlands where you can see some of our more rare and cautious wildlife who often find themselves far too busy to worry about us. Birds sing loud and clear to mark territory and attract a mate. Why not pay a visit to Swain Park to hear them in song? Better heard and not seen than seen and not heard. Grass snakes and lizards are often slow to move during the first few hours of sunlight. Try exploring a sunny log pile in Kendall Park, Hulbridge, or the sea wall at Wallasey. Bejewelled butterflies and insects emerge and bedazzle us with their colourful displays. Hockley Woods and Magnolia Park are perfect for this with their sheltered sunny paths and glades. The best times to catch a glimpse of these beautiful creatures is between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. The heath fritillary butterfly is very rare but can be spotted at Hockley Woods. Young badger and fox cubs will be taking their first furry footsteps into the evening light. Want to see them? Try visiting Cherry Orchard Jubilee Country Park or Millview Meadows. Keep low, quiet and downwind. The following flowers can be spotted in most of our woodland: wood anemone, lesser celandine, dog violet, primrose. The cherry trees will also be in blossom. Always respect wild spaces and wildlife. Take home your litter, photos and memories and leave only your footprints.
Environment. We're second for our recycling rates. Rochford District Council has been named as second in the entire country for its recycling rates. We would like to thank our residents for all their recycling efforts following the announcement from the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, known as DEFRA, which monitors waste and recycling figures. Statistics released by DEFRA placed Rochford second in the league with a recycling rate of 65.47% out of more than 350 local authorities across England. The district has been in the top 3 for the past 4 years and has topped the table on 2 separate occasions. This success has been thanks to residents embracing the simple 3-bin system, with 1 bin for non-recyclables, 1 for recyclables and 1 for compostables. The reliable collection service run by CETA UK has also made it easier for residents to use. It's important to keep hitting the recycling message home, with a dedicated recycling team which works hard to ensure residents are kept informed. Their recent Rethink Rubbish event was a huge success, with more than 400 people flocking to the Mill Arts and Events Centre for a day of family fun with an educational twist. The event marked the 10th anniversary of our first curbside recycling scheme and included a textile reuse fashion show, a recycled rhythms performance using rubbish to make music, and fabric and recycled art workshops. Other initiatives have included illuminating the Rayleigh windmill green, using the ever-popular Max the Dragon as the council's recycling mascot, and producing a Christmas recycling song for YouTube. This is in addition to visiting schools and scout groups to ensure children are learning the recycling message from an early age, which has involved giving sewing lessons to encourage the reuse of clothes, making decorations from old bottles and CDs, and making fabric weaves from old rags. The team also provides educational talks to community groups to continue to spread the message about which items can be recycled or reused.
Just when you thought you'd heard it all, our street scene team has launched another new initiative to reduce dog fouling in the district. Joining forces with environmental charity Keep Britain Tidy, they decided to tackle the issue using social media and word of mouth. The initiative involves a YouTube video featuring dogs from around the district, set to the famous song You To Me Are Everything, with a few lyrical changes. The video has seen more than 3,400 hits and is designed to raise awareness. This is all part of a renewed effort to tackle dog fouling, which has involved placing "We Are Watching You" posters in problem locations, pavement stencils with key messages, and "Scoop My Poop" bandanas for dogs. To see the video, go to www.rochford.gov.uk/poo to me.
Rochford District Council's Street Scene team has been selected as a finalist in the Campaign of the Year Award 2015 and Environment Award 2015 categories of the Local Government Chronicle Public Service Awards for its Charity Bins project. The pioneering project was carried out by the council with Keep Britain Tidy and funded by Rayleigh. In each month of the pilot, the bins in Rayleigh High Street were labelled with a sticker explaining that one of 3 local charities would benefit if people put their litter in the bin. The litter binned in each charity's month was weighed and compared to the weight of the litter collected from the street. The results revealed a dramatic reduction in litter levels in Rayleigh. The pilot, a first for the UK, incentivised people to bin their litter responsibly by linking the amount of litter collected in the bins to donations to local charities. This resulted in the charities benefiting from a total of £1,331.50, which was put towards their activity in the local community in the Rochford district. The winners will be announced at a special ceremony at Grosvenor House Hotel, Park Lane, London.
Out and about. Rayleigh Windmill reopened its doors to the public on Saturday, March the 28th. It is open Wednesdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. until the end of September. Check www.rochford.gov.uk/windmill or follow us on Twitter at Rayleigh_mill for information about the latest events and to check for changes to opening times. Clubs and groups. Events at Rochford Library are Wishing Well Centre every Tuesday 9:45 to 10:15 a.m. Stories and rhymes for babies and toddlers. Job Club every Thursday 2 till 4 p.m. Get help and advice with building your CV and searching for work. Baby and Toddler Group every Friday 9:30 to 10 a.m. Stories and rhymes for babies to 5 years old. Book sale every Saturday all day. DIAL Dial Disability Information and Advice last Tuesday of each month 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Caremark Advice on care and support at home last Thursday of each month 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Computer training. We can help you to start using a computer. Just ask staff for details. Active You Fun and friendly exercise sessions with informal health talks, dance fit, aerobics, circuits, Pilates and more. This is a free 12-week programme and it will be coming to you at various locations. For further information, call Active Life on 01702 567 327. Computer advice for older people. Friendly advice on using computers for older people. This is on the first Thursday of each month, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m, and there is no need to book. This is at the Parish Council Rooms, 82 West Street, Rochford. Contact Alan 01268 780 738 for more details. Disability sports. Free weekly sessions in boccia, table cricket and other sports. This is on Fridays 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Stanbridge Memorial Hall and the sessions are free of charge. Contact 01702 258 566 or 07876 802 420, Memorial Hall at stanbridgepc.co.uk or sport@rochford.gov.uk. Rochford Extended Services weekly family drop-in sessions. These support and advise families with children at school in the Rochford district. This is on Wednesdays 9:30am to 11:30am at the Annex, St Teresa's Primary School in Ashington Road, Rochford. Contact details are 01702 545 771 extension 3226. And lastly, Rochford Hockey Club. This is a friendly and sociable men's hockey club looking for new players of any ability. Training is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and matches are played Saturday afternoons. The venue is King Edmund School, Rochford, and the contact details is 07455 704 071.
And coming to you this spring, Rayleigh Bowls Club invites prospective bowlers to come to their recruitment days to try their hand at lawn bowls under the guidance of club members. It's on April the 25th to 26th and May the 2nd to the 3rd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bring flat-soled shoes. Going to be held at Rayleigh Bowls Club, King George V Field in Rayleigh. You can contact the club secretary, Sheila McAvoy, on 01702 231218. Come to Hockley and District Horticultural Society's trading hut for friendly advice on various aspects of gardening and to purchase compost, grow bags and fertilisers at very competitive prices. It's open from Sunday from 10 a.m. till 12 noon and it's behind Hawkwell Village Hall. Membership is £3 per family per year. You can contact Sylvia Bird on 01702 206 220 or birdsnest2@talktalk.net. Rochford Parish Council is planning a May Day fair in Rochford Square on Sunday, May the 3rd. For details, contact Rochford Parish Council on 01702 540 722. The Roach Art Group is celebrating their 25th anniversary with a spring exhibition and open day. It's on Saturday, April the 25th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rayleigh WI Hall in Bellingham Lane, Rayleigh. It's free admission. Contact John on 07933 263 930 or Debs on 07907 714 002 or their website is www.roachartgroup.wix.com/roach-art-group. Family Theatre. This popular programme of theatre and puppetry at the Mill Arts and Events Centre in Rayleigh is aimed at children aged 2 to 8 and their families. The shows are based on familiar stories as well as original tales, and including on May 17th on a Sunday, 2 p.m, Red Riding Hood by the Norwich Puppet Theatre. Sunday again, June the 14th at 2 p.m, The Circus Spectacular by Angel Heart Theatre. And on Sunday, July the 12th at 2 p.m, Up in the Attic by Floods of Ink Theatre Company. Tickets cost £4 and are likely to sell out, so contact 01702 318 191 to book. Oysters, an East Angles Theatre Company production featuring oral history, interviews and age-old traditions of oyster fishing and boat building on the River Colne in Essex. It's on Tuesday, May the 19th at 7:30. It's at the Kate Spiller Theatre in Swain Park School, Rayleigh. It costs £9 and it is adults only. Contact 01473 211 498 or their website www.easternangles.com. And celebrate 50 years of choral singing in Rayleigh. To mark their 50th anniversary, Swain Choral Society will be performing a Gala Jubilee concert on Saturday, May the 16th at Swain Park School in Rayleigh. Under the direction of their musical director, Colin Edwards, the choir will perform Rutter's Magnificent, Vivaldi's Gloria, with soloists from the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. To make the concert truly memorable, the choir invites former singers to join them. Rehearsals are held at Swain Park School on Monday evenings from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. For further information, contact 01268 770698, 01245 320 212 or visit www.swainchoralsociety.org.uk.
Council and committee meetings. Development Committee, April the 23rd. Standards Committee, April the 9th. Review Committee, April the 14th. The Executive, April the 15th. And Full Council, April the 21st. All meetings will take place at the Civic Suite, 2 Hockley Road, Rayleigh, SS6 8EB, starting at 7:30 p.m. For information, call Member Services on 01702 318 140. Please note that although events are checked before going to press, they are subject to change, and we recommend you visit our website or contact the organisers to check before going to an event. And if you have an event, we can put it on our website, so visit www.rochford.gov.uk.
In the parishes, Hockley Art Exhibition and Art Trail 2015. Hockley's first art trail in 2014 was a great success for artists, traders and residents. Following positive feedback, Hockley Parish Council are organising another art trail in 2015 and launching a new art exhibition. The art exhibition will be held over the weekend of April the 18th and 19th at the old fire station, Southend Road, Hockley, and will allow a number of local artists to exhibit and possibly sell their artwork. Many forms of art will be on display, including oil, watercolour, acrylic, pastel and pencil. Entry to the exhibition will be free for the viewing public. An event programme giving details of artists and their artwork will be available from participating artists, local shops and Hockley Parish Council office. The art trail will be held over 3 days between July the 2nd and 4th and will be spread across approximately 30 venues in Hockley Town Centre. The trail will showcase a variety of artwork by local artists and art groups and is likely to include paintings, photography, ceramics, sculptures and jewellery. Entry to this event will be free for the viewing public. An event programme and trail map providing details of artists, art forms and venues will be available from participating exhibitors, local shops, Hockley Library and Hockley Parish Council office. Further details of both events can be obtained from councillors Tim Gleedall, 01702 201 688, Veronica Randall, 01702 202 142, or Sue Martin, 01702 202 750.
Residents of Stanbridge, led by the Parish Council, have worked together to restore their invaluable village hall. Originally built in 1905 for farm workers to take their breaks, the hall became an important hub for local people to congregate, but sadly over time the hall became dilapidated and unusable. Thanks to a £20,000 grant from the Community Initiative Foundation, £7,000 from the Essex Community Foundation, £1,500 from Rochford District Council, plus capital funding from Stanbridge Parish Council, who are the sole trustees of the Memorial Hall, residents could work together to restore their hall to its original beauty, making it the heart of the community once more. Stanbridge Memorial Hall now houses many local groups, including Mini Marvels Preschool, Disability Sport and the Stanbridge Fishery Programme, and welcomes people and groups from across the district to use its facilities.
The first parish summit has been hosted by Rochford District Council as part of efforts to work together in the interests of residents. The event was organised by the Council's Economic Development Team to encourage better communication between the district, parish and town councils so that we can work more closely together. It also provided a forum for councils to learn from each other's experience to the benefit of all those who live and work in the district. Delegates heard from guest speakers, including Essex Police, RSPB, and Rochford District Council's Planning and Economic Development teams. Workshops included communication and training, emergency planning, environmental services, initiatives and funding, local highways, neighbourhood planning groups and tourism.
Visit your local market this spring. With a friendly, bustling atmosphere and huge variety of affordable goods on offer, it's well worth visiting your local market this spring. The district's weekly markets feature a wide variety of stalls including fruit and veg, clothing and household products. Rochford Market meets every Tuesday in Rochford Square, Rayleigh Market meets every Wednesday along Rayleigh High Street, and for something a bit different, Rochford Farmers Market meets on the first Saturday of every month in the WI Hall, 9:30am till midday, selling quality local produce.
Rochford District Council has planted trees at Cherry Orchard Jubilee Country Park in remembrance of those who fought in the First World War. One of the many commemoration events being organised around the district, the tree planting was a unique and special opportunity to leave a long-lasting legacy of the brave First World War servicemen. 420 tree saplings have been donated by the Woodland Trust, which have been planted as an avenue to represent the location of the key battles throughout the war on this front. After the saplings were planted, John Baker, chair of Southend-on-Sea branch of the Western Front Association, led a small ceremony of remembrance which was followed by a minute's silence. Mr Baker said, "I would like to thank the Woodland Trust and Rochford District Council for supporting my project to create a living memorial to all those who served and died during the First World War. The tree-lined path has been laid out in the shape of the Western Front that stretched for over 450 miles from the Belgian coast to the border with Switzerland. Each tree represents a man from the borough who died in the conflict, and the two lines of trees represent the opposing front-line trenches. As people walk along the path, I hope they will take time to reflect on all those who made the supreme sacrifice for their country." The council is also proud to publish a record to remember the sacrifice of more than 400 local men who died in the First World War. The list details the name of each man, unit or ship in which he served, date he died and where he is buried, or the memorial where he is remembered. It can be accessed at www.rochford.gov.uk/WW1. The list was compiled as a personal project by Rochford District Council employee Jim Cavani, who is a member of the Western Front Association. He had the assistance of Mike Davis and John Priestley of Rayleigh Through the Looking Glass. If you want to try their website, it's www.rayleighhistory.co.uk. Viv Irvin, Rochford District Community Archive, www.rdca.org.uk. John Baker, Chairman of Southend-on-Sea branch of the Western Front Association. Karen Dennis, Memorial Officer, Essex Branch, Western Front Association.
Rochford District Council's Community Safety Team is looking for local businesses and services that can assist in the relaunch of their J9 campaign to stop domestic abuse and help victims to seek the help they so desperately need. The J9 Domestic Violence Initiative is named in memory of Janine Mundy, who was killed by her husband while he was on police bail. Each business or service signed up as a J9 information point will display the J9 sticker in their window, so victims know where they can obtain information to help them access the support they need, providing information and the use of a phone in an emergency. To sign up, call 01702 318 112 or visit www.rochford.gov.uk/J9.
Free home safety checks. As part of the free home safety check, officers from Trading Standards and the Fire Service visited residents' homes to provide advice around cold calling, doorstep selling and fire safety. They were joined by a qualified electrician who carried out portable appliance testing, known as PAT, on a small domestic appliances in order to prevent and reduce accidental dwelling fires. Any item that failed the PAT test was fixed or replaced free of charge, which ensured residents were not left without essential appliances. The Community Safety Team, in partnership with Essex County Council's Trading Standards, will be holding a series of free one-day home safety checks throughout 2015. To be eligible, you must be aged over 65 years or require additional support due to a learning disability or mental, physical or sensory impairment. If you meet the criteria and would like to be included, please email communitysafety@rochford.gov.uk or telephone 01702 318103. COPE events, Community Older Persons events. They will be held across the district to give the older generation lots of information on how to stay safe in their daily lives. These will be on Wednesday, April the 8th in Hockley, Thursday, June the 25th in Great Wakering, and Thursday, October the 1st in Stanbridge. Free transportation, refreshments and lunch are also on offer. Places must be booked in advance. For more information and to book, please call the Community Safety Team on 01702 318103.
Rochford District Matters is designed and published by Rochford District Council. The telephone number for the council is 01702 546 366. The magazine is printed by Morton Print Limited, 01507 523 456. And this recording has been produced by volunteers from the Rayleigh, Rochford and Castle Point Talking Newspapers.